Hello, everyone. Welcome to See Joy and Expand podcast. I'm your host, Christian Joy, and welcome to the space where the weird and the magical meets the mundane, the imaginal meets the physical, and all those duality things. This is the in-between space where two opposites meet. And I just wanted to make this episode and let everybody know how I've been doing, because nobody ever talks about the messy middle, the in-between space. The in-between space from where we begin and where we end up. And I don't believe that we end up anywhere. It's a journey. The life continues, and I mean, sure, there's a birth and an ending through death. But in my spiritual point of view, a life doesn't end with death. There's more to it on the other side that we just can't see yet. We just don't know because we're here. We're here in this physical world. So June has been very challenging. I don't know if anybody resonates with that. It is June 2025. I think today's the 18th. It's a Wednesday. And sorry for the children in the background, but this is just how it's going to be. This is what life feels like. There's life happening all around us. I'm at the park. There's birds chirping. There's bees buzzing or other insects. You can feel the wind going through the leaves of the tree. And occasionally you have children playing in the background. And it's summer. So this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to sound like. And I like to honor that in my podcast. And then right now I hear an airplane flying overhead. So June has been very challenging. Very, very, very challenging. In my personal life, in my business, in my personal life, in all the ways, in all aspects. My relationship's a little mellow, but money is always the undercurrent that's just been going on. Not always, but that's been the theme for quite some time for me. And a lot of collective shit's been going on. If you haven't been keeping up with the news, there's a lot going on. And especially in Southern California, the ice raids have been happening. So it's been activating my immigrant origins. Mind you, we all came from somewhere else, no matter what your racial identity is. We all came from somewhere else. And I've been getting messages lately that movement of humans has been the natural order of history. I think it's only been in recent history that we've chosen to stay put in one place, and that resonates a lot with me. I'm a Sagittarius. I've moved so much in my life. I've traveled to many places, but I plan to travel this globe before I transition to out of Earth plane. And it's been a joy to honor my need for travel. It's like something inside of my soul to explore what else is out there, whether it be in my locale or abroad. Along with the ice raids happening, because sometimes my energy is drawn to like heavy 3D energy stuff, because there's something for me, for my soul to learn and witness from it, from my own personal journey and path. Maybe not necessarily be a part of it. And it was a really beautiful thing to witness over the weekend with the No Kings protests. Like, I could see, like, from a broad scope, that the collective, there's like a little trickle of 5D energy coming through, and I was like, wow, it was a really interesting thing to notice. And I wrote this in a recent Substack, that during my witnessing, and I get messages from everywhere. If my energy is drawn to an all-day scroll on TikTok, then so be it. For me and my work, spirituality doesn't have a look, it's an energy. So my energy was drawn to connecting with all these events through TikTok that happened, that transpired that day on I think that was July 14th, the No Kings protest day, which was also juxtaposed against Trump's would-be maybe birthday parade. Like, they set up a 250th birthday of the Army on the same day as his birthday. That's kind of the reason why the No Kings protests happen. And then along with like the energy of everybody with the ice raids, like that going on. Like, I've been knee deep in the 3D lately now. And then along with all of that, I have had a lot of family stuff going on. Like, I was sharing everything I was seeing on the news. And we don't usually get into politics in my family, but I was just like, look at how great this is. Knowing that I have family members with differing political point of views, which, yeah, I know. And it sparked a lot of conversation between my family members, and heavy conversations, and between religious point of views, political point of views, and things like that. I think they've just been bubbling underneath the surface for my family, so it came out hot this weekend. I'm like, truly, you guys, I'm going through like a really transformative month with all the heaviness that I'm moving through. Like, I haven't shared about the weekend that happened before this, but that's going to be coming out in the Substack soon. I just letting my energy guide me moving forward. I wanted the Substack that's supposed to come through, I want to treat it with a lot of care and intention before I send it out to everybody. And yeah, that all happened. And then if you've been reading my Substack lately, you'll know that my mom was baptized, born again Christian more recently. So another thing that I had to drop into the family chat was how incredibly woo, like, my perspective of the world is so woo. And if you're listening to this, you're probably woo too, because I call myself, like, if you've come onto this and like for my other socials and stuff, I am woo as fuck. I call myself a quantum hypnotist, an intuitive life coach, and a Reiki master. And yeah, if that was not woo and metaphysical as fuck, I don't know what is. And I have a very different perspective of the world. And when I was having that conversation with my family, I was like, you know what, fuck it. Since we're on the topic of religion and then we got into like the Middle East stuff, because what's currently happening is Israel is bombing Iran, and Iran, rightly so, retaliated. Is that I was like, you know what, fuck it. Since you guys have labeled yourself this, born again Christian, my brother and my sister-in-law, they're atheists. This is what I am. Since, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I've trickled in, like, my interests with my family. They know what I'm into. But I don't know that I've ever gave it a word, so they don't really understand what it is I'm into. So I wrote a whole paragraph like, this is what I'm into. I love the metaphysical. When people ask me what I am, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. I love to listen to witches on podcasts, and psychics and channelers and heart-led entrepreneurs. This is what I like to listen to. And just like all the things, I just said all the things that are true for me. This is my paragraph of labels that I put it in there, and maybe like my mom doesn't get it. Doesn't even understand what I even wrote. Because honestly, like one time I was trying to explain to her something, a concept. It might have been in the realm of like mental health, but I feel like with Carl Jung's work as a psychotherapist, like spirituality and mental health, they kind of like they cross, right? They cross. They are like are aligned and connected in many ways. And she's like, I don't understand what you're saying. And I was like, man, I'm sorry. I don't have another way to say this in the way you understand. And like, I've like released attachment for my mom to understand anything that I say after that conversation. Because when she said that, I was like, yeah, you're right. You literally, like, not out of shame or guilt or fear. It's just like, it just is. My mom literally quite didn't get the memo. And this woman, like, is the type of boomer that consumes a lot of Fox News. So she just, like, doesn't have the context from where I'm coming from my perspective. So I dropped all of that knowing, I was like, yeah, we'll see what my newly baptized, born-again Christian family members are going to do with this information. I don't feel like they're going to be on a witch hunt. I don't use the word witch lightly. Like, I don't identify as a witch because I do follow another podcast I love listening to that is hosted by a witch who identifies as a witch. And it's like really a culture. It's not like something you see on TV. There's a lot of like reverence and ritual and meaning behind having the identity as a witch. So I don't call myself that. Like, I say witchy as a description, but if I were to take on the identity of a witch, I would do so with like, is this really like what I'm stepping into? And I've thought about that a lot. I was like, am I a witch? I'm like, I think there's like a energy or layer or an aspect of me that could be witchy, but I don't think that word totally describes my identity. I think metaphysical and woo describes me, and spiritual like describes me the most. But yeah. So very heavy month. I don't know what my family's going to do with that information. And just like, whatever. I released it to the wind. Okay, sent it out into the universe for my family's members to hear, and they're just gonna have to deal with the challenges of my identity in the belief systems they chose, and I have no control over that. And you know what, it is what it is. I feel like this year is when I heard one channeler, I think it was Lee Harris, that said this, and he said this is the year of the light worker. And I was like, oh cool, like this is our time to shine. It really felt like a coming out of the closet for many people who identify as light workers, energy workers, healers, and all those things. And like people who are really woo, like we're just like over it. We're not hiding anymore. We're coming out of the closet this year. That's what he meant by that means to me. At least that's what it's looked like for me in my path. I am so sorry about the children, but I'm not at the same time. This is just how it is, you guys. I'm surrounded by children, like on and off, like here and there. And you know what? Like people, humans are allowed to scream. It's moving energy. They're moving energy. They have a feeling inside or whatever. They have a lot of energy. Then you get it out and do it with a scream. I attended a family constellations. Family constellations is what it is. Like, I'm not even going to call it a workshop because it's so much more than a workshop. I've been working with a family constellations facilitator over the past, basically since maybe like at the end of May. And then this last constellations, I represented the seeker, and I had a moment where I had to scream. Like, I had to scream. Like, I needed to move that energy. There's like this feeling bubbling inside of me that needs to be released. And you guys know me by now if you've been following me for a while. I love me a good like pillow scream, or on the freeway in my car by myself, screaming on the freeway. Like, those are so cathartic and feel like the best. Like, I do highly recommend it if you are in the space of it. But I had a moment when I had a pillow scream, and it was literally the best feeling in the world. And I think that's just like this month. This whole month just feels like a big pillow scream for me. Like, a lot of heavy things. I'm moving from my familial side, my personal side, the collective side. I have a big fat fucking headache right now. I'm gonna be honest. And I'm out here outside. I'm at the park again. It's been a while since I've been at the park. I was to be honest, I was a little bit scared to go outside because of the ice raids, like being confronted and then having to show share my citizenship, not being, and maybe being gaslighted about it, and then being detained. Like, I was scared to go to the park. Recently, like, they've been around my area, I've been hearing. So yeah, it kind of scared me. But today I was like, fuck it, I really need to go outside. Like, I've been going on a walk, but it's like I really needed to be where the grass is and the trees are. I've been walking on the sidewalks in the neighborhoods, but it's just like, it feels a lot. It just hits different just being at the park, the part of the park that feels like nature. So, moving through a lot of heavy stuff. I'm sure all of you out there are moving through heavy things. I honor you and see you and love you for your truth at what you're moving through. We're all moving through it. And this is a thing I've been saying a lot lately too, if you've been reading my last Substacks. By the way, they're free. Like, there's only certain things about my Substacks that aren't. Most of it is free. Is that that you are the collective, I am the collective, we are the collective. We are shifting through the shift together. We're shedding old systems together. And a thing that I've been thinking about, like, for a long time, and, like, I wonder and muse within myself is, well, I'm a part of the system. I was birthed into a system that is unnatural, that's not aligned, that is highly, like, leans toward masculine energy without the masculine energy and the feminine to balance it out. It's like heavy towards the action and the productivity rather than the rest and the reflection and the recuperation and the just in the beingness instead of the forward movement. How am I showing up in a way that upholds these systems? I was born into the system. So what it is within me that upholds this system, that is a part of this system, that is the system. I think about it a lot. And with, like, a lot of the social justice stuff that's been happening lately, like, I get a fire under my ass about it, because part I'm like heavy Sag stellium energy, part heavy Capricorn energy. Like, I get a fire under my ass about injustice at times. Like, this doesn't make sense. This is not right. And I get a fire under my ass about it. And my energy goes that way. And I follow it. And I learn a lot from it. And it's just another thing about me to transmute, to shed, that's within me. Because I'm a part of the system. And when I recognize that I am a piece of the system, because the collective that I was born into created the system, so I am a part of the system, is that I lost my train of thought. I don't remember what was coming out coming from that part, but anyways, so heavy stuff. And then I, through the conversations with my friend, God bless my friends, get yourself a support system. And it's not even that you have to go find them. Sometimes you'll be surprised that the support system is actually really under your nose. And everybody's experience is different, but that has been my experience, that actually I have all my support is around me. It's through my friends. A lot of my friends, my soul friends, are through the internet. But the people that are around me in my immediate world, they're equally as supportive too. Even though it surprises me sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, I am loved here too, even though they don't speak the same language as me. So, I'm moving a lot of heavy things. And today I was like, fuck it, you know what? It's summer. And I literally, like, I thought about this for a second, and I was like, wow. I don't think I've, like, had a legit vacation since October of 2023. Like, a real ass vacation. Like, where I'm, like, literally doing nothing. Not having a purpose. And I was, like, realizing my drive and my purpose was burning me out. And I was like, that's wild. My mission and my purpose is burning me out. That's crazy to think of. Because my mission and my purpose is to help heal the world in the way I know how, in my work and my energy work and the words and my perspective that I share on this podcast. And it's like wild to know and realize that the fire in me and in the Capricorn in me, this like, it's burning me out. Burning me. It's, yeah, it's burning me out. And then I also, like, if you guys are astrology nerds, but I will try my best to explain it. I only know what I know about astrology. I haven't, like, actually studied it. So, FYI, I have a Chiron and Gemini placement. And it speaks to how heady I get instead of being grounded, how heady I can be sometimes, like being in my brain and in my thoughts and in my overthinking. At least that's how it feels. Like I have a lot of wounding to undo about the overthinking. I remember in previous episodes that I would say, like, mindset only takes you so far. You have to bring it back to the body. You have to bring it back to the body. And I think that's my learning here. That's my learning here in this lifetime, is that I show up here for everyone in my wounds, because Chiron is the wounded healer, and when we share our wounds, we heal everybody else. Is when I am in my overthinking, when I get too idealistic, maybe even really righteous about the things, because righteousness is not really healthy. Like, righteousness is the energy of, like, I am right about this thing, and it kind of gaslights everybody else in their experiences because they have a different perspective and lens and lived experiences, that your righteousness might gaslight their feelings on a certain situation. That's something I had to learn about myself too, in relationship with raising my daughter. I was very self-righteous for a long time, and layer upon layer and upon layer for the past 5 years. Like, I'm always shedding the system that's within me, because I was born into the system. We are the system. Like, we like to say they are doing this to us. They are doing this to us. Like, who is they? They is us. They like, I'm sorry, Trump is a part of this collective too, unfortunately. We have a lot of fucking garbage to shed, you guys. And this is another thing I've been saying too, is if you think you're going to shift within the shift without being shifted, guess again. Like, do a little take back, because you're not. If you think you're going to shift through the shift without being shifted, think again. Because I'm being shifted as fuck, you guys. Yeah, I was just like, I had, like, if you follow me on TikTok too, I had like a really bad mental health day a couple days ago, and I was like in my low of my emotional wave in human design. If you have been listening to me for human design content, I talk about human design also. And there are people who have emotional authorities, and there's 3 different emotional waves. And I have 2 different types of emotional waves. I have an emotional authority, and I'm meant to make decisions through my emotional neutral place, not my emotional lows or my emotional highs. And I was on a really low, like the lowest low. I was so fucking low, like really bad. Like, I was stuck to my bed low. Like, trigger warning, I had like intrusive thoughts, and the trigger warning, I like had a little SI in there, and I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no. I have not had a thought like that in a very long time. I think the last time I had a thought like that was back in 2020. So yeah, And I was listening to a TikTok, and I don't have all the information on this. I'm just learning about it. But there's this concept called not Zootopia. I wanted to say Zootopia. Zoocosis, I believe is the word. And it's the way we live as a society that is unnatural. It's not connected to nature at all. Like our cycles, our seasons, we're always just, it's speaking back to like our overly masculine energy society and within us, and our with like minimum like feminine energy. Like what we only get maybe summer vacation and that's it, and the rest we're supposed to be masculine energy, productivity, on and on and on. And Zoocosis speaks, and I believe that's the right word, I could be wrong, you guys, you can Google it, and it speaks of our mental health and our depression or our depressed states, because we are not listening to, we are like living in an unnatural way. Like it's only recent history that we're living in societies like this, where we live in like one home, one place, your whole life, and not moving around a lot. I guess that's what the idea behind it is. Not moving around, like how animals move around. And I guess maybe that looks, I mean, I'm not gonna put my opinion in here about it. That's what I understand from it, from this one little TikTok, but like it's really piquing my interest, so I'm like real time like musing on it. I haven't formed an idea or thought about it, so look it up if that word piques something inside of you out of curiosity, and maybe it'll give you a layer of understanding. I love learning new words, because every time I learn a new word, I learn a new concept that gives me a layer of new understanding to my lived experiences, like what it is am I experiencing that I know inside my body is true and in my knowing, but I just never have the words to convey what it is that I understand. And that's how I tend to show up on this podcast. I like a lot of the things that I share. It's like things that I've been cycling through my thoughts, and like Substack has been like a great place for me to like really like understand and move the energy within me that I know is true in the form of words, and then share what it is that I understand inside me. So yeah, like every time you come across any kind of word, it might not even be zoocosis, it could be a different word. Investigate that word. There's like, it's something, it sparks something inside of you. There's something for you to understand about it, and it may look like a huge deep dive into that word, or it might be just that one little definition. You don't have to, like, either way is okay. Human design speaks to two different types of people, and my learning through human design, I learned through other people, like learning that there are different types of people, and that the way I am is okay because this different type of person exists and it's not a part of my chart. So it validates me. And one profiles in human design, they're meant to learn, like deep dive into all the information about everything. They're the knowers. They're the knowledge keepers, if you will. And when I realized that there's somebody, like I used to feel like I had to investigate and study everything about a particular topic to feel like validated or feel worth through knowledge. Until I found human design and found out there was a whole profile, a one profile person out there that's their thing. And I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. Wait a second. I don't have to endlessly seek information. I don't have to endlessly seek information about one particular topic. I can just move on to the next thing. So honor that within you. If you don't know your human design, you can pull up your birth chart actually check out John's website. He has birth charts on his website. There's a kid on a bike riding across from me. He has a website, and you can look up your birth chart there, and find out the different aspects of your birth chart. I don't know. I haven't looked up my birth chart on his website, so I don't know what information is on there, but it'll give you like the deets of your design, like what your energy type is, what your authority, which is your decision making, what is your strategies, like how your approach to your decisions as well. It'll give you your perfect environments. There's so much to it. And if you want to know more about human design, we started doing human design nights. We hop on live on TikTok, and we talk about all things human design based on our topics. Or the last one, I had a fire under my butt because of everything going on, and I just like, what does human design say about oneness? Because the fire, like, I had a fire on my butt for real, you guys. Well, I think I've been recording for a long time. If it feels long, it feels really long, but yeah, I'm going to continue laying on the grass because it feels really good to just be here and do nothing. Like, I haven't just let myself be here and just do nothing without a purpose, and I think that is the feminine energy balance that I needed, because I'm always doing something for a purpose, like a bigger grand plan. And that's the systemic patriarchal masculine energy, like riding hard in my insides. Like I feel something I'm transmuting this month. I wanted to share that with you guys. The messy middle, I'm going to continue laying down here on the grass. Oh my god, my foot fell asleep. Oh my god, it does not feel good. You guys. Ooh. Oh yeah. Yeah, I need to move my body more. Another message from my body. Move your motherfucking body more, girl. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, but I'm going to still continue laying on the grass because I enjoy it. I haven't done absolutely nothing for a very long time. Just for the sake of doing nothing. And I'm excited for it. Like, there's a lot to learn from being 3D. If you guys, the fear, the shame, the anxiety, the guilt, desperation, the depression. There's a lot to learn about ourselves when we allow ourselves to, like, just, what is there to discover about ourselves in this place. Anywho, you guys, leave a comment, subscribe, follow me on all the platforms. I'm on YouTube, Spotify, all the podcast platforms. Leave me a 5-star review. I'm also on Substack, where I write, where all my podcasts, like all my content, is housed there, minus the human design nights, because that's me and John stuff, so I don't put it solely on my platform, so people aren't bombarded with video content in their emails. And we'll see what happens. I'm also planning on revisiting The Artist Way. That's a big message too, because that's just been peeking through my TikTok algorithm as a resonance feeling intuitive message and next step. But and what else am I on? I'm on TikTok. You guys, I've been having a lot of fun on TikTok, so if you guys want to watch my shitty TikToks, enjoy them. They're really really funny. They're really funny to me. They're I'm just being me and seeing however this works. learning how to use TikTok, as usual. Always like, everything's just a learning, you guys. Anywho. I love you guys. You guys have a beautiful rest of June. If it hasn't been feeling beautiful, I see you, I love you, I witness you. And it's okay. It's like emotional waves. Things get dark, deep, maybe ugly, but there's always the 5D is seeing the beauty in the ugliness. So if you're not in the space to see the beauty, I'm not going to tell you to see it if you can't. But if you can't, sometimes it's a sign. Like, how can I be present in this very moment and see the beauty that's around me? And take a few deep breaths and just take a deep breath. When you take a deep breath, you're basically telling your body you're safe. It's like the fastest way to tell your body that you are safe. Because when you're not safe, you're not breathing. You're breathing really fast and shallow. But when you take deep breaths, you tell your body you're safe. And then you can witness. You can hear the birds chirping. You can hear the wind between the leaves, in your hair, touching your skin. You can feel the sun kissing your skin. You can see how green the grass is. And you can see the kids play in the background, just having fun for no fucking reason. No purpose. Fun for fucking having fun. Alright, you guys, I love ya. Bye-bye. See you in the next one.